So this is Powermoth, also known as Mint Dreymoth in some circles. This is the game Shattered Realities I've been working on. This is the very basic start screen. Now here you can see some very basic enemy slimes moving around, chasing around the player. The player's sprite is a default Brave sprite that I made that's meant to be replaced layer. It's basically a something that's meant to be again, it's a base layer. It's meant to sort of get the idea down rather than actually be the what's actually there. You can see the slimes drop blood on the ground, and we've got this inventory here. The red slots being slots that cannot be accessed because these don't exist in this inventory. This inventory is only 4 slots. Shift left clicking will quick sort them into your inventory, and same here, which is really nice. The use button for these items in your inventory is actually the E button. It is the use button for a lot of things. Pressing the E button on these gems here, because they don't have a use function, doesn't do anything. This green stem here, because it's a healing item, when you press E, it'll bring you up to full HP, and because of the code in there, it won't let you use more than what you need. Essentially, it stops you from using these once your health is full. There's a bunch of neat things here. You can probably see here that there's a quick swap system in place, where if you use any item that's deemed a equipment piece and you use another equipment piece that you've got, it swaps it out. There's no pressing E from here also quick swapped it in here if it has room. Again, this is an upgrade item. It just boosts the player stats here. This is a very work in progress sort of thing. A lot of this game is actually very work in progress. Mostly the UI at this point. As you can see, hitting the slime caused a blood puddle to show up on the ground. Green because the slime is green. Items that cannot fit into the player inventory get pushed around dynamically, which I find is pretty fun, but it does have the issue of blocking doors at the moment, which is not ideal at all. Environmental objects cause hazard damage, which is at this point 1/10 of the player's max HP. So it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 HP or 10 HP, these things are going to do 1/10 of your character's health and damage. Now, there's a trash can slot to destroy items. That's a drop slot that currently places them somewhere around here. You can pick them back up. You can also, like this is a stack of 10. Drop them there. Goes there. Pick them back up. It's a stack of 10 again. So, a lot of work went into a lot of this. Now, this here is another inventory with 2 inventory screens worth of inventory. It's easier to see if I do it something like this. The mouse wheel can scroll between this inventory and the player inventory once you upgrade it. And it's based on the mouse's position on the screen. So down here it will allow you to scroll. Up here it will not allow you to scroll the bottom screen. It will allow you to scroll this screen though once you've had it fully upgraded. Now, these inventories here can also function as shops currently. This one here shows you the shop money. I have no money, so I can't buy anything here. It won't let me. But if I go over here and sell stuff, you can see my money increases. But this is not a way to make infinite money, because the shop owner will actually buy these for less than their base value, which is 5. It tells you here that they're buying it for 4. And over here, it says that they're selling them for 6. So, yeah, the shopkeepers are a bit stingy. The ones that will actually buy whatever you're selling anyways. Now, as you can see here, we've got a bunch of item descriptions. And the box changes depending on what that is. Now hit the escape button and you enter this pause screen here. You got a bunch of things. You can return to the title of the game. You can save it. You can hit the continue playing button, or you can just hit the escape button again to exit out of this menu. They do the same thing. You can delete your save file, and you can exit the game. Because it's playing in Unity right now, I can't actually exit the game until the game is actually baked. And then now I've added these 2 new screens here, the bestiary and the quest screen. The bestiary will essentially contains it's the bestiary, so you mouse over a slot and it will show you this. If there's nothing there, as in you haven't found this creature yet or encountered it yet, you'll get this question mark image. It's just a stock image for the moment. Very work in progress. That'll get removed later and replaced with a custom one. The text will show there as question marks because you don't know anything. Then here, when you mouse over something that you do know, it will display an image of the creature and some information on it. You can hit that to return to the pause menu. Quests. Right here, you can see there's nothing here at the moment. Now if I exit out of here and grab this, and I'm also going to need to heal before the slimes kill me. Now this player NPC has very, very work in progress stuff in it. A little weird actually, but do this. Now I'm going to hit buy for now. And as you can see, this showed up and it tells you about this quest here a bit. This is an active quest. You can go back to the pause screen, exit, because I've done some cheating and I've gotten a stack of 10 of what he needs over there already. I can hit complete quest and it will show up here, and now it has this quest completed text on it. So you know you've completed this quest, that it's done. You no longer need to do it anymore. Over here, again, you can scroll through these. This can have an infinite number of these. Now, this says quest completed. You can click on this, and it does that. Kind of neat. Now, there are a couple other things that you can do here, such as the upgrade screen. It is very, very work in progress, as in most of this is completely unfinished. These 2 nodes here are required for this node to be active. I am going to add in a node name above these things so that this thing can actually display what kind of nodes need to be activated before this, and also, you know, have a actual background to the screen and have it so that you know which nodes connect where. This is just them being completed. You can't do anything with these anymore. And they have permanently boosted certain players they haven't done anything yet because they don't do anything currently other than require stuff, and the slime has killed me. As you can see, my player is now completely dead and I can't do anything. So I'm just going to do that real quick. And I have accidentally saved, so I'm going to delete the save file and then restart. Now currently it doesn't ask you if you want to delete the save file yet. That's going to be added in a bit later, because for me, conveniently, as the game dev, it's actually easier for me to just click that whenever I need it and not go through that second step of having to confirm that I want to actually delete the save file, especially in this early of the game. Now there are a couple other things I want to do and show. Just a little bit of screen shake here. Now that those guys are dead and won't kill me, Definitely need to fix that so that it actually brings you up to full HP and tops you off there for when the upgrades go through. These buttons here are quick hop button slot buttons. They take you to different screens. I'm going to open up the spell selection screen. Looks like this right now. Now I'm going to close that. And here's the spell book. Hit E to use the spell books. I did not mean to go up there yet, but that's alright. Do this. You can see that right now the spell book is being used as the image for this. It'll get changed later to a proper sprite, or maybe even animated sprite. So again, same with the bestiary. Hover over something you don't know, it shows this question mark. Hover over something you do know, it shows an image. This just deselects any active spell, so you, in case you don't want to use any of them at all, do that. Exit the menu. Press the F button currently to fire the spell. They don't have any sprites currently, other than this. These despawn whenever they hit anything. Now, these are some work in progress textures here that you can see that I've made for the game. And that currently is all I've really got, other than, you know, see, showing that I've used up the magic. Go over here, this E pops up indicating that I can go through this door. This is going to get changed later, of course, work in progress and all that. Now this slot over here is interesting, because this, again, this UI right here needs to be cleaned up quite a bit. But this up here is technically the player's, I guess you call it experience bar. As you play the game, the player will earn a currency of some sort known as mutagen, not to be confused with actual currency, which can be used to buy things. As this gauge fills, you're going to be able to use mutagen to buy upgrades from the upgrade screen itself. Regular currency is going to be used to buy limited amounts of the permanent upgrades, like this syringe here, the blood stem. This is a permanent stat upgrade for the player. There's going to be a limited amount of those in the game, and you're going to need monster parts and other stuff like that to actually make them, along with money. Mutagen is going to be used for buying these upgrades here in the upgrade screen, which do a lot more than just those chemicals do. Essentially getting you permanent upgrades in the form of mutations and all that. Now this upgrade bar, again, it gets filled with mutagen, and you use it to buy the upgrades. You're not going to want to get this too full though, because right now I'm thinking once this gets to a certain point, you can overfill it, causing essentially the mutagen gauge to burst, forcing it to select a random mutation of a specific from a specific mutation list that could be either really good or really bad, depending on what you're going for in the game. Now here's some other stuff here. You probably notice these doors, especially that these doors right here don't match any of what this is going on, because this was originally going to be a top-down game more in realm of Zelda with, you know, like this, and then rotated down like that with corners, but I didn't like the style, so I switched it over more to a Final Fantasy type with very vertical walls here. Now, that's all I really have for this devlog in particular, as I've been working a lot of things here. I do need to get more sprites and get a lot more of the world built up. As in this, there's only these three test rooms that you've got right here for the game at the moment, and that needs to be expanded on pretty soon, because as you can probably see from the game's code base, it's pretty much finalized in that part, outside of, you know, specific monster patterns and movements, NPC stuff, and bosses and boss drops, which are going to be a thing in this. I am currently contemplating whether or not I should actually add in another screen for key items. And for boss items. Now, some of these sprites are work in progress, some of them are not. Like this helmet here is a work in progress sprite. This one might get redone. That one won't. Now, as you can see here, I'm taking more damage from this spike than before. The player does have invincibility frames that they take so that you can kind of power through these if you have enough health. Now you can see item stacks do stack in pretty large numbers depending on which item you're using. Things like this that heal for a small amount have a stack pretty high. Others will not stack as high. And this is essentially how the game is looking so far. So I'll catch up with you later. You can follow me at mdramoth on Twitter for more frequent updates based in text and some sprite images I'm working on and other things like that. And I'll see y'all later.